Always make sure to clean the kitchen before you go to cooking and wash them dishes. Get that nasty out of there. Bite to you, Chef-O. Get you some Monterey Jack with jalapeno peppers, cheese, 8 ounces. 8 ounces of New York extra sharp cheddar. Some Adobo All Purpose Seasoning without pepper or with pepper. Adjust if you're using this garlic pepper. Rotel original diced tomatoes with green chilies. Get you some Philadelphia whipped cream cheese, or either get the regular and let it come down in temperature. Parsley. Heavy whipping cream. Get your 8 ounces of Velveeta original cheese. 8 ounces of Ortega Jack cheese. You want to get you a half a green pepper and a half of a small yellow onion and 1 pound of ground beef. 73, 8, 80, 20, whatever you want to do. It's up to you, baby. You're also going to need just some taco seasoning, or either the seasonings that go in that, or whatever you want to put, and get you some type of tortilla chip to dip inside your Rotel when you're through. And this is Chef-O's Rotel dip with shrimp, baby. Now in a skillet, you want to heat up a little bit of olive oil, and I done seasoned down them little shrimps there with some garlic and pepper seasoning. Just a little bit now, because it go a long way. That garlic and pepper seasoning from the dollar store go a long way. So when you go in there and you see that kind right there, it got your Chef-O approval to go along with it. Go ahead and pick it up. Now drop these down in that oil and let them cook a couple minutes on each side. You know shrimp don't take long to cook, baby. Yes. Now once you do that, you want to go to flipping them over on the other side so we can get our other cook. 2 minutes on each side. That's a total of 4 minutes, and you could be eating good, baby. Cook you a few extra so you can dip your fingers in there and snack a little bit while you're waiting to get this here done. Yes. Rotel dip, baby. I see this recipe all the time for years, and I started to finally check out what the fuss was about. I never had Rotel dip, so I seen how easy it was to make. So I said, oh, this here ain't nothing. Let old Chef-O make him some Rotel dip and see what it's hitting for. So here we is, baby. We on our way to our 100th episode. Old Chef-O trying to figure out what he gonna make. I don't know as of yet, but we'll be in contact with you soon on that one. But we almost there. So here we is right here. We done did the 2 minutes on the other side, and we want to go to removing these fellas from our skillet here. And you see that flavor, that seasoning, that fine beginning to build up on the bottom of our skillet. There it is. Some people panic when they see that. Do not panic. It ain't nothing but concentrated flavor on the bottom of that skillet, and I love it. I love it, baby. Yes. So what you want to do is you want to drop down in there with your chopped up green bell pepper and yellow onion, and you want to go to sauteing them fellas. And they will release their own moisture. And if you want to, just drop a little half a teaspoon of oil down in there to help them fellas along. Yep. And that's all you want to do. And you ain't got to cook them all the way. You just want to get them started. Because remember, they're going to go with your meat when you brown that, and they going to go in your cheese sauce and simmer in that. So you ain't got to cook them all the way, even though it don't take but a few minutes. Just saute them and get them off to the races, baby. That's all you want to do. Couple minutes. Once you saute them for a couple minutes, you want to drop down in there with probably about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of garlic, minced garlic. Some people call it busy people garlic. Some people call it lazy people garlic. I think if you're too busy, you might be kind of lazy. Or if you're just lazy, you're going to get that kind instead of getting the regular garlic and chop it up. I do both, but 99% of the time, we roll with that 1 pound of ground beef. Like I spelt that there. Look how Chef-O spelt that there. 1 pound of ground beef. You want to drop down in there With that, after you done let your garlic saute for about a minute, don't let that garlic burn. Saute it around in there for a minute, set it, move it off to the side, push it to the side, and drop down in there with your 1 pound of ground beef and go to busting that down, baby. Look at that. Look at that. Chef-O got that wooden spatula utensil. Go to mashing down on that meat, cracking it apart, making it fall apart, baby. Now you want to go over the top there with 1 packet of your taco seasoning mix. Whatever brand you want to use, you can use it. Or if you want to just add in the seasoning, some people will put all-purpose chili powder, onion powder, and everything else. Put the seasoning in themselves. But old Chef-O got his already done this time. What's the difference? Now this here don't got no garlic powder, so I decided to put garlic pepper, but we only gonna put a light bit of that garlic pepper. Also, what's not present here is the adobo don't got no pepper. So you get that there. The taco seasoning don't got no garlic, and the adobo don't got no pepper. So I put garlic pepper seasoning and I put adobo. But you only want just a light sprinkling of that, probably about a 1/4 teaspoon worth, because remember, you're using your taco seasoning and it got a good amount of sodium in it. And the garlic powder and the adobo got some sodium in it. So you ain't got to go crazy with it. You're just trying to enhance flavors here. But your main flavoring in here, in this dish, is from that taco seasoning. So here we are, we getting that all incorporated while we're browning the rest of our ground beef here. Yes. And we on our way. So you finna see what I was talking about here when I go to dropping down in there with some of that little adobo. You just want to dust it. A little something, nothing too major. Just want to enhance the flavor. And this is Chef-O Rotel dip with shrimp added in, baby. And as you can see, that seasoning is even more beginning to stick to the bottom of this here skillet. Yes. This recipe called, well, it don't matter. People make it all types of ways. Look at here, we done browning now. People make this here all types of ways. But I added a little twist because the Rotel got green chilies in it. So I decided to use that Monterey with that jalapeno, and I gotta praise that there block of cheese. It made all the difference to add a nice little twist and kick to this here dish. Now once you remove your ground beef off to the side after you're done draining it, you want to drop down in this here skillet with a can of that Rotel original. If you want to get mild or hot or whatever, you do what you want to do. I'm just showing you what I did. So you don't want to drain it. You just want to make sure you clean off the top of the can. Don't be nasty. Get that nasty off of there. Open it up and drop down in the skillet with that Rotel. Now I'm going to use that juice to go to deglazing that skillet like you see here. See there? Because that's coming up. That ain't nothing but flavor, baby. Coming right up off of there. Get in them cracks and corners and rub down in there in a circular motion. Yes. Get on them edges. You ain't doing nothing but loosening up all that flavor. Look at there. See how? Look at there. Cleaning the bottom of that skillet, boy. Look at there. That's why I say never panic. Sometimes people panic when they see that and they go to doing some everything. May throw their food in the garbage can, or may go to adding water, may go to panicking and doing anything. You know, you ain't got to panic when you're cooking. So a lot of people don't know that this here is good. You see me do it a lot here on the Chef-O channel. I love it. I champion. When I see it sticking down there, that just tells me the dish gonna be fire. That means there's some seasoning in it, boy. Yes. And look at this here. So we done loosen that up. Now I got me a pint of that old heavy whipping cream, and I started off with a half of that pint of heavy whipping cream. And you want to stir that up and get that all mixed in and incorporated. Now all together, I use 3/4 of that pint, but you'll see me adding in a little extra heavy whipping cream as this cooking process continues on. But you don't have to use 3/4 of the heavy whipping cream. You can just use the half. It depends on how thick you like it. And I also use it to prevent anything from sticking as far as the cheese goes. Or if you want even more, you can use the whole thing or as much as you want to. 8 ounces of cream cheese, Velveeta original. You want your Monterey and your extra sharp. All 8-ounce portions added in, all in together, baby. As you can see, like I said, I got that whipped cream cheese. It's already softened. You got the regular 8-ounce block. You want to sit that out for at least about an hour to 2 hours before you go to cooking, so it can be done softened up and dropped in temperature. And as you see here, we're coming up to a simmer with all our cheeses in there. A few minutes in, 5-6 minutes in, we're gonna go to mixing. Our cream cheese already breaking down and everything else slowly breaking down too. See, we just add a little heavy whipping cream in there. Get a little creamy, a little liquid in there. Make sure ain't nothing don't go to sticking, baby. You don't want this here to stick. You don't want no cheese to go to sticking, baby. Now look at that, look at that. We done smoothed out. Now look at here. We done almost smoothed out on everything. Everything now is reduced to very small chunks, if anything, still in there from them cheese blocks. So that's the perfect time to go ahead and drop down with our cooked and drained taco meat, baby. Seasoned with our Ortega taco mix. 1 pound of ground beef over the top. Drop down, baby. And once you do that, you get your spoon or whatever, and you want to go to folding that in. And that's going to also go a long way to help flavor this here Rotel dip. Look at that. Darken the color up. And everything else. Chef Fo Rotel dip with shrimp, baby. Coming on up. Well, yeah, about through. Matter of fact, drop down there with a little bit more heavy whipping cream, and that made it 3/4 right there. Old Chef Fo decided that there was enough. We wasn't gonna need no more, baby. Go around in small circles. Get everything incorporated. Yes. And I'm talking about something good too. It's good for you. Put you this on some chips, make you some nachos. Or you do what you want to do. You can put you some pasta in here too. Any kind of noodles. Egg noodles, rotini noodles, macaroni noodles. Get you some lasagna noodle, whatever you want to throw in here. You can throw anything in here and be creative. Make this into a pasta dish. Yes. Look at that. Good look consistency. Some people like theirs thicker. So go ahead and let that keep simmering, melt in the remainder of the cheese that may be left in the sauce. And then when you get to the end, last thing you want to do is drop down in there with your shrimp, baby. You know, shrimp don't take but 2 minutes to cook, so them they're already done. So don't drop them in there raw, and don't have them down in there boiling for no long time. Just drop them in there right at the end, cut the heat off after you mix them in. And if you want to, sprinkle it over the top with some parsley or some cilantro. And look at this here. Look at this right here, baby. Easy, breezy, cheesy, with a little kick to it now. A little kick. Got green chilies and jalapeno in the cheese. This Chef Fo Rotel dip with shrimp. I done plated up, put a little bit extra of that parsley down there. Give it a little more color, make it pop. Yes. Boy, I took me a little taste test too. You probably done seen it on the short. Y'all probably done seen it, boy, but you got to get your own. I'm out.